In Colombia, as in most Latin American countries, football is king. The country has a host of world-class players plying their trade in Europe, and the passion for the sport here runs deep. Cycling is another sport that is hugely popular in Colombia. In recent years, the emergence on the international stage of the Quintana brothers, along with Rigoberto Urán, has meant that cycling has gained widespread coverage in the nation's media. And coming up fast on the heels of football and cycling in terms of popularity in this South American nation is the sport of inline speed skating. Colombians simply love it, and they excel at it too, dominating the international scene. Transworld Sport caught up with the rising star of inline speed skating recently, 17-year-old Gabriela Rueda.
I think that people in this country like inline speed skating because of our history with the sport. It's very popular here. Both children and adults love to skate. You can do it at any time, at any age, and with anyone. So I believe that's why skating is so popular here in Colombia.
Gabriella lives in the Colombian capital, Bogotá. She took up her sport when she was 8 and proved a natural at it right from the start.
I was super hyperactive as a kid, so my mum and stepdad tried to find a solution to calm me down and channel all that hyperactivity through a sport. My sister had some friends working at a local track, so she contacted them. That's when my sister and mum decided I should start skating. I liked it straight away, and I had a pair of just regular skates. I started to skate outside my house and at any other places I could find. That's how my career began. All thanks to my sister and mum, who just got tired of me running around all the time.
It's true. Ever since she was a little girl, she just couldn't stop fidgeting. That's why we chose the sport. We thought it would be the solution to keeping her under control, because she can't stay still for a minute. But I must say that she is, however, very self-disciplined and a very good student.
Inline skaters race mostly outdoors on an oval track called a patinodrome. It can measure anywhere between 160 to 250 meters in circumference. Disciplines range from sprints to long distances, from time trials to point races. Gabriella's main focus is on distance racing, particularly on races exceeding 5,000 meters, which are normally held on tarmacked roads. The 17-year-old's motivation to be the best in the world at her sport has meant that she's had to give up certain aspects of a normal teenage life.
I think that once you are competing at a high-performance level, all of those things become secondary. I'm obviously very young, but I'm already used to this kind of life. That means getting up very early and not attending any late parties. I do spend time with friends though. I go to the cinema or go shopping, but you have to choose between them. You can't go to a party and then the next day go training. It's all about discipline, and that's something you learn through skating and through other sports too.
The Inline Speed Skating World Championships are held every year. In recent times, Colombia have dominated the event, topping the medals table on 14 occasions since 2000. Last year, Gabriella was representing her nation for the first time at the Worlds, which were held in China. Competing in her preferred 20,000 meters elimination race, the youngster struck gold.
I was the last one to compete in my category. I was the youngest competitor too, and it was my first time competing at the World Championships. I couldn't believe it. Everything turned out as we had hoped. I was so happy. I was flying the Colombian flag, and for me it's so important to represent my country, and at the age of just 16 too. My dream is to go a long way in the sport, but even this was a huge surprise, becoming a world champion at the age of 16.
Her family were there to witness Gabriella win gold in China. Mum Martha makes sure that at least one family member goes along to support her daughter at events both home and abroad.
Her competitions are a real source of joy for all of our family. We always support her and never leave her on her own at the events. We keep ourselves disciplined as well, to make sure of that. We really make every effort to support her. We are just as immersed in the sport as she is.
Gabriella is expected to defend her world title at the forthcoming championships, which will take place in the Netherlands in July. And after that, the Colombian skater will represent her nation at the 2018 Youth Olympic Games.
The Youth Olympic Games take place in October in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The idea is that the Colombian skaters qualify for the Olympics by having a good performance at the World Championships. So first, God willing, I will have to be selected by the national team for the Worlds. And then, I'm not quite sure how it will work. They'll let us know along the way, as there are different events for the Youth Olympic Games, rather than my normal ones. But I really want to be there. It will be like writing history in skating. Not only Colombian history, but world history too.
There is no doubt that Gabriella will continue to improve and potentially dominate long-distance events. Inline speed skating will make its debut at the Youth Olympics, and perhaps that competition will be a gateway to the main Olympics in the years to come.
I fell in love with the sport when I was just a young girl. Even if it requires a lot of discipline, I don't mind. I have wanted to go a long way, and little by little, my dreams are coming true.